Hey YouTube, Sam here. Well, I got a little bit of a, I don't know if you'd call it a tool review, but a review here on these magnetic grip things here. First of all, we got the Harbor Freight one here. With the 20% off, it was $3.19. I would say the magnet on this is just as strong as the magnet on these. But the problem and issue I have with this is just not comfortable, and the wristband is barely big enough to fit around my wrist. And I find that I actually, especially if I got a sweater on when it's cold or something like that, I need more than what this can give me. So this will be going back, but I gotta say, as far as the magnet's concerned, it's not much worse than these. You can't put very many screws on any of these. The next thing, this right here. It just didn't fit. I got a Makita impact drill is what I mostly use. It fit in here, but it felt like it was going to fall out all the time. And I just don't use these straps. In fact, I had another one of these from a long time ago, and I ended up cutting this strap off just because it just got in the way. Now if you put the strap on, it will hold in there, but it takes more time to get in and out than just to set it somewhere, and it just doesn't work for me. The magnet, you can't put very many screws on there. You know, it works, but you barely bang things and you're gonna lose screws off of there, you know. So especially if you stack a screw on top of another screw. But I mean, it does work. The other thing this has is it actually has a pouch, so if you put the screws down in this pouch, it'll hold pretty good, but it just didn't work for me. Also, it's got this hook on here, which I thought I'd like, because then I can take it off and on my belt, because I'm not a big fan of tool belts at all. Even when I was doing carpentry, I had to have the tool belts on, but I didn't really, and they just felt cumbersome and in the way to me. I don't like tool belts that much, so I thought I'd like this. But you put the weight of the drill in there and it definitely kind of sags on you, so it didn't work for me. I'm not saying it won't work for a lot of other people and maybe different types of drills. It did work for the drill pretty well. It felt better with the drill in it. It didn't seem to fall over quite as much. It was more just the impact driver, which is what I use the most. So this will be going back as well as that. Now the thing I am going to keep is this right here. It is fairly comfortable. It's kind of difficult to get on. Hopefully you can see that. I do find I want it more towards me here. And you can put a few screws on there, but you're not going to put a tool bag's worth of screws on this thing because it just won't stay on. If you pile on top of, put ones on top of other ones especially, they just fall right off without hardly any banging. So really, when you do this, you can put, you know, half a dozen or so screws on there. You got to kind of put them where you want. Go do whatever it is you're planning on doing that'll take a half a dozen screws or less. And which, you know, for like sheetrock, this wouldn't work because you're going to need a lot more screws than this. But I've been putting up some shelves down in my basement, and this works great because I only need 4 or 5 screws to screw what I need at the time. So anyhow, I am going to keep this, and so I will be reviewing it probably a little later on and finding out how well it holds up and those kind of things. Something else about this is it gives you plenty of, see, when you pull it off, you got to be careful. They'll just go flying all over. It does give you plenty of room, so if you have a bigger wrist, or I found I actually put it up here quite a bit when I was doing stuff, just because it's kind of more out of the way. Hopefully you can see that. And also when I had a sweater on, this worked fine. This one here, when I had a sweater on, it barely would stay around my wrist. So anyhow, that is the magnetic wristband or magnetic deals. This one's from Harbor Freight. It's okay for basically the same thing as this, but I would say for a woman's wrist it would do great, but for mine it was just too small, and I don't have a huge wrist. So this is the Magnogrip, and I would say, you know, if you can maybe bring your drill in and check and see if it fits. It looks like it shows a DeWalt drill in here. But like I said, unless you use this part here, which I don't like, because I want to just be able to grab and go and grab and go. It didn't really work that great. I didn't think the magnet worked as good on this one as this one. It's only got like one magnet here, and they're not great magnets in either of these. I would say that the magnets are pretty cheap magnets in these. I saw one of these online a long time ago, and I've been wanting it for quite a while, and it was actually at Walmart, so I went ahead and picked it up, and this one was there as well. Now at Walmart, this one cost, let's see, wristbands, $6.88 for this one, and for this at my Walmart, at least at the time I'm filming, it was $9.86. Let me see here, $9.86, yeah, so you're going to pay that plus tax. The Harbor Freight one here was, like I said, $3.19, $3.99 normal. I got 20% off. So do what you will with the info I gave you. I'd say it works okay for small tasks, but I was really hoping these magnets be better. So there you go. Hopefully Magnogrip will be listening to me, and they need to put some better magnets in there. I would gladly pay 10 or 15 bucks for this if they had really strong magnets and I knew I could throw maybe a bigger pile on there or something like that. I'm okay with paying more for something that works just that much better. This one just doesn't quite work well enough, but it's kind of good enough to where I am going to keep it, try it out, and you'll be hearing more about this later on and what I think of it as I use it more. Alright, this is Sam, Jack of all, Master none. You all have a good one.